nearly 30 years ago, a bunch of comedians with a range of silly walks, screeching voices, an array of funny costumes changed the way we looked at the world forever. But sadly, we're unlikely to get the Bee Gees back on the show again, as we instead welcome actor, writer, comedian, singer, and 1/6 of another all-conquering comedy group, Monty Python, Eric Idle. Eric, very good. Good to see you. Oh, dear. I took a vow that I would never, ever interview a member of Monty Python and say, when are you going to reform? When are you going to do Monty Python again? When are you going to get back together again? And I was going to stick to that, except in the paper this week, you are reforming, albeit for one day or one weekend or something.
Well, I read that too.
So, so is it not even true?
It was in the papers.
Oh, well, now stop teasing me.
Who said it?
It was in, as you say, it was in the papers, and the BBC are going to give you, because it's 30-year anniversary, it's going to be a Monty Python. What are you entitled to as Monty Python? A night, a week, a month?
John Peel. A knighthood?
Well, a night on the BBC.
We're getting a night on BBC Two.
Yes.
And they're going to shove on some old stuff.
Yeah.
Boring old repeats. And I think we've all given interviews.
Yes.
And then some of the lads are doing little bits of funny things.
What do you mean you think you've all given interviews? You must know whether you've done...
I gave an interview.
Yes.
I didn't pry into their private lives.
Fair enough.
You know.
Yeah.
I gave an interview and I talked about you.
Thank you very much. That's very sweet. But are you going to do any new material, actually sort of performing?
No.
Oh. So this story wasn't entirely
true.
It's a complete
waste of a vow.
Yes.
It's to keep it.
Yes, to keep it all. Yeah. Oh, no.
You know, you vowed never to speak to me again.
Did I?
Yeah. But you broke it by telling me.
Oh. That's only because you cancelled the last minute.
I did, and I've come here to apologise.
Yeah, so instead of doing the show a couple of series ago, you went off and did what?
I went off and did a movie.
Called?
And I really regretted it. I'm never ever going to cancel you again. It was a complete stinking movie.
Yeah.
And not only was it terribly bad, it won an award in America for being the worst movie of the year.
Yeah.
And it was called Alan Smithy, Burn, Hollywood Burn.
Right.
And it was dreadful. Why do you have on instead? Do you have something funny?
I don't know. I think it wasn't another week we had President Gorbachev on instead.
Oh, okay.
He was on a standby.
Oh, he does a very good stand-up, doesn't he?
Very funny guy, and he's hoping to reform the USSR. Just so we know. I just want to do a bit of Monty Python stuff. I know you've spent 30 years or 25 years talking about Monty Python having sort of done it, but why was it that Monty Python was such, has had such a big sort of thing? Because there are, lots of comedy shows around then and since, some good, some bad, some indifferent, but Monty Python is kind of like the first of like the
It's a bit of a serious question, really.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's meant to be a serious. It's like the first of comedy is the new rock and roll, new skiffle as it was when you...
Thank you very much. I was very big on Lonnie Donegan.
Yeah.
What it does is it seems to me that it addresses the post-adolescent state.
Yes.
Because what it is, it's anti-army, anti-authority, anti-school, anti-teachers, anti-church, anti-mothers, anti-fathers.
Yes.
And the anti-aunties.
Yes.
I was thinking... You were thinking about that.
I thought, no. Let Eric go.
Thank you, let him die. You forget. I've got a whole series to go.
Yeah.
He'll be off in a minute.
Yeah.
Doing another dreadful movie. But I think that when you get to the post-adolescent stage and you go to college, and that sort of age group that really finds Monty Python, it's their state, that's what they've got to in their development.
And do you think the fact that it caught on in America was also, it kind of gives us a stamp of approval for us that you were able to conquer America?
Well, it was the one thing that we were always completely certain about, is that it would never go in America.
Yeah.
And we were completely confident of that.
Yes.
And it was a complete surprise when it sort of began to appear on PBS, a public network over there.
But only the sort of really good stuff from Britain conquers there, like, Monty Python, Benny Hill, Are You Being Served? It's only the real good stuff.
You've been looking at my TV guide, haven't you? I have that channel,
I have my impression of you, not that I do an impression of you, but I've assumed that you've had a very lovely life since making Monty Python, that you've been kind of hanging around in in California by a swimming pool. You occasionally do a part in a movie. You occasionally do.
You know,
this
is an interesting thing that you raised this, because about 5 years ago, I was sitting in my home in St. John's Wood.
Yes.
And you were on with Michael Palin.
Yeah.
And you said, "Oh, Eric Idle lives in Hollywood."
Yeah.
And I'm watching, and I went,
Hollywood, St. John's Wood.
I thought you got the wood right,
yes.
you know. So being a nice chap, I left and went to Hollywood so that you wouldn't be such a bird.
Yes. And you've been there ever since.
I've been there ever since, you see.
Michael Palin being such a nice chap. He didn't say no.
You didn't realise he was lying.
He said, "Oh, yeah, if you say so." He lives in Hollywood. You often get mistaken for Michael Palin.
I do, yes. But when I do, Michael's such a nice person, I try and destroy his reputation for being nice. I say, "You're Michael Palin." And I say, "Yes, I am. Now piss off, you horrible." And it's good. It's getting in more of an aggressive, you know, street front, more popular street cred.
What I was leading to is the fact that I imagined you having this lovely lifestyle by the pool in St. John's Wood, the way you do, and now you're suddenly making yourself work hard and hard. You've actually got a novel out.
It's my second novel. My first novel was published in 1975.
Yes.
And it was called Hello, Sailor.
That was in your unreconstructed period.
And it was scurrilous and filthy.
Yes.
And it was about a gay prime minister.
All right.
Which, you know, who would think that could possibly have happened?
Yeah.
Moving hastily along.
Yeah.
This one took me 4 years, the last 4 years, and it's actually about comedians and people who do comedy and how strange and weird and screwed up they are.
But it's a science fiction book, but it also deals with comedy.
It's set in the future, so I can look back. There's a robot trying to understand comedy, and he's doing research of comedians of the late 20th century, which allows me to abuse Monty Python.
Yes. Now, if you'd have a movie out, we'd show a clip of it, so I think it's only fair that we show a clip of your book. So this is Road to Mars, and here's a clip of it. There we go.
Perhaps I should explain about this scene.
Well, I think you can work it out. It's,
okay.
Yeah. That's it's a good page, actually. 47.
Applause after.
Yes, very good.